Hello, Federal viewers. Today there was a very sad episode of a plane crash happened in Ahmedabad. Over 200 passengers traveled in the Air India plane, which was about to, which started from Ahmedabad that had to reach London. We came to know that in the air crash there were many casualties. We have with us former Air Marshal Mr. Madheshwaran. Hello, sir. Welcome to the chat.
Hello.
Sir, as a former air marshal, how do you assess this immediate response by the air traffic control and rescue services following today's crash? Over 200 persons were in the airplane.
This is a catastrophic accident. We call something as a catastrophic accident is one in a situation where there is almost no time available for anyone to react to be able to save anything, right? That's one. So it's beyond the pilot's control. We don't know what has happened. Both his engines might have gone so that the aircraft has no power. And immediately after takeoff, we can't do anything else. So the aircraft probably crashes. Or we don't know what else has happened as well. There's a catastrophic failure. That much we know that. Right? So, and he's also alerted the ATC by giving a call Mayday. And therefore, the ATC would have reacted immediately. So these kind of situations, the fire services, rescue services, and other services that are available on the ATC, they'll react immediately. They are trained and designed to act in seconds, actually. And of course, it seems to have gone into a residential or a built-up area. So we don't know what would have been the impact on people on the ground, if any lives have been lost as well. But since the aircraft is crashed immediately after takeoff, it's with full fuel, and the chances of any survival is almost remote. So it's
Yes,
a
sir.
very unfortunate loss of lives.
Yes, sir. Sir, in this stage, what would be the standard protocols for investigating a Boeing 787 Dreamliner accident? What would be the initial steps?
Any civil, the civil aviation, Minister of Civil Aviation and the Director General of Civil Aviation, they have standard procedures. So in an accident like this, then immediately, of course, you constitute the Board of Inquiry team, and they then assemble the members immediately and they get to the spot so that their first objective is to recover the recordings or the black box, as we call it, from the crash. The black boxes are designed to survive even a catastrophic accident and heavy fire and higher temperatures. So they recover that so that it records everything from the time you start your engines to taxi and take off down to you land back after the flight and then switch off. Everything is recorded in that. And so that data they will have to actually decode from that black box for further analysis. Secondly, I presume these are modern aircraft. I'm not very sure, but I think the systems are there in the airline must have capabilities where these are aircraft where the health and usage monitoring system is hums, as we call it, is part of the aircraft, and therefore it transmits a lot of data while flying to the maintenance centers so that the health of the aircraft is constantly monitored. So these are so data will be available. So the Board of Inquiry team will have to get access to all this data and see to be able to
Okay.
analyze and then find out what really caused the accident.
Hello. Hello, Federal viewers. Actually, in this chat, we are talking to former Air Marshal Mr. Madheshwaran. Actually, Air India flight AI-171 involved in an accident after takeoff from Ahmedabad. The flight was en route to London Gatwick. It was carrying over 240 passengers, and the Air India has given a dedicated passenger helpline. I'm sharing this number to help you. 1-800-569-1444. I repeat, 1-800-569-1444. This is the dedicated passenger helpline that has been set up now. I'm back to questions with former Air Marshal Mr. Madheshwaran.
We generally
Sir,
don't say, Pramila, one correction. You
yes,
just
sir.
say Air Marshal, you don't say
Yes,
former
sir.
Air Marshal.
I'll do that.
I'm a former deputy chief,
Sure,
but
sir.
Air Marshal is Air Marshal. Yeah.
Yes. Sure, sir. Sir, with this aircraft plunging into the residential neighborhood just within minutes after taking off, how do you evaluate the current safety zone around this airport, sir? Should there
Well,
be stricter norms to
have
prevent
to be
such
strict, yeah.
tragedies?
But real estate is one of the big drivers of Indian economy as well, and therefore, the government will have to come very strictly on ensuring, because yeah, it may happen once in a blue moon, and but then one is too many. Correct? So many lives are lost. We don't know what is the kind of a damage on the ground. So there are very clear, directions stipulated in various policies that the certain safety zones have to be kept clear for, for these purposes. Actually, this is primarily for safety. Actually, both for the aircraft and for the people on the ground as well. So I think we need to take a relook at that, because in India it's quite a Herculean task to. You look at the Pune airfield. All around the airfield is a township, correct? Or
Yeah.
you look at Mumbai. What do you do with it? So I think one has to review some of these issues as well.
Sir, actually, in this plane crash, it happened within seconds, within a few minutes of
Yeah.
taking off. So, what could be the reasons from what could we learn from this response so far? What we see, the visuals coming out. What is your opinion, sir?
No, responses, of course, in a catastrophic accident, you got to respond quickly, immediately, and try and see if anybody is surviving, take the people to the hospitals. I think they've done all that. So that is there. It is another matter that, the survival percentage of the possibility is very remote. That's a different issue because of the reasons I've explained earlier. So next is
Okay.
to actually identify as to why it has happened, and that will only come through board of inquiry, and prevent, any such accidents in the future. The objective is always to prevent the recurrence of any such accidents. So it's a learning. I mean, we can't cover everything. What can fail in a complex machine like an aircraft today, and these are all highly evolved designs, and thousands of components and systems function in this entire process. But then you have, in a digital world, everything is monitored beautifully, and there's a constant check that is being done as to what are the safety factors that are constantly in play. Right, the pilot gets the input, and the ground staff also get that input. Despite that, uh, something can fail, as it is evident in this particular case. If it
Sir,
had failed at
what
much
can
higher
be?
height,
Yes,
if
sir.
it had
What?
failed in much higher height, then probably the safety, the recovery percentage would have been better. But a critical
Okay.
height is even for the best of the experienced pilots, difficult to handle.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's what I want to understand. What might be the technical glitch that caused this crash, sir?
Difficult to say, but from the video that you all are showing on the TV that I'm seeing, looks like it has lost power. The
Okay.
both engines might have failed, which is very surprising, because both quitting together is an extremely remote possibility. But if it has
Mm.
happened, then it is absolutely catastrophic. There's no way you could have saved the aircraft.
So, what are the safety aspects in Boeing 787 Dreamliner? What what would have been possible, sir, with the safety? What could be avoided with this Boeing 787 features?
Boeing 787 is one of the most well-designed and modern aircraft. Okay, and so it has today's computers and electronic systems handle many things. There are built-in systems, which minor emergencies and minor failures, etc. There are a lot of redundancies that are built in. The system itself will handle quite a lot of it, and then tell the pilot, inform the pilot that something has happened here. Now you can take a call whether you want to cut short your flight or you want to do this action. But then these are all available in that system. But major emergencies, the pilot will have to take the call, because and the pilots are trained to take the actions appropriate to a situation. They fly the simulators; they're extremely trained, and of course, act emergencies, as we call, or react emergencies, you have seconds to react. Correct, and these are that's
Yes.
why we call it as a catastrophic emergency. This is, if you, let's say he was on the landing, right?
Yep.
at the end of the flight, and something happens like this, maybe it would have been possible to just float down and land on the aircraft. But after takeoff, it's almost impossible to save the aircraft.
Okay, sir, I understand. So thanks for sharing your inputs with the federal audience. Thank you very much for your time and information, sir.
Thank you.
Federal viewers, we are sharing this helpline number again to help you out. The Air India flight AI 171 involved in an accident after a takeoff from Ahmedabad, and a dedicated passenger helpline number 1800569144 has been set up. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramila. All the best.